Hello everyone, and welcome back to my new video series which I titled Coming of Age. Coming of Age because it's a process to come of age. There's a lot of self-learning that you do, that I did, in learning how I'm going to do everything I possibly can to be a better person, to improve myself, and most importantly, to understand God. So I began, like most people, reading the Bible, and I was raised Catholic. Unfortunately, my family never really got together and opened and studied the Catholic Bible, other than for important rituals and occasions, tradition. So I had been through a really rough time in life, and I found myself for the first time completely alone. And I couldn't have gone to God at a better time. And it's when He wants us to approach, when we're very contrite in spirit, when we're broken, when we're incomplete. And I think that's where the understanding of wisdom begins. And for me, after doing growing pains, I thought I would share more of that experience with you, and maybe you'll learn something from it. Maybe it'll help you in some way. So I started reading the Bible, and I read beginning with the New Testament. After reading the New Testament, I went back to the Old Testament, which helped because it made more sense. It really kind of tied things for me. So everything made sense after reading through until I finished with the book of Revelation. And then you go back and you start to realize how much things have changed, how much Jesus coming into the world changed everything for human beings. And it was very enlightening to see the differences. And one of the things for me that made me really question my choices in life, my relationships, and my approach on life was when I started focusing more on the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments that Moses was given by God on Mount Sinai. And if you can't follow those commandments, how much more difficult it would be for someone that wanted to walk with Jesus, wanted to walk in that light. So you have to look deeper within and look at the basic commandments that we were given by Moses. Kind of like a rule of law, a divine rule of law. And so that is what I want to touch on today, just that. And when I started thinking about the commandment of honoring our father and mother, I thought, what have I done in life to really honor my father and mother? And I was surprised when I started taking inventory that I was a disobedient daughter. And I looked at my life and I thought, wow, okay, how would my eternal Father see me if I can't honor my own father and mother here on earth, the two that came together to form me in the flesh as one? How would my eternal Father see me? So that really opened my eyes to how much better I could be. So I'm going to read the Ten Commandments today. We're going to go to the book of Exodus, and I'm going to highlight these on the screen for you so you can read them with me. We're going to start with chapter 20, and this is the Ten Commandments. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. That's the first commandment. The second commandment, you shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness, or anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children of the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. Next, the third, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Number 4, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Number 5, honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God has given you. Number 6, you shall not murder. Number 7, you shall not commit adultery. Number 8, you shall not steal. Number 9, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And the 10th commandment, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's. So when we think about all of the things we do in life and how we go about certain things, there's people we come across, there's people we meet, and we understand they're not at the level that we may want to be, or they may not even understand at all. You know, these are usually people that are narcissistic, sociopaths, people that tend to see themselves more as a god than as a human being. And there's a lot of coveting that happens. I want the biggest mansion. I want the bigger bank account. I want the finest car. I want to dine and travel in the finest of areas around the world. Many things that they covet. So for a millionaire or a billionaire, I would see how that would be very difficult. You know, I'm glad that I'm not a millionaire and I'm not a billionaire, because that makes it so much easier for me to obey the commandments of my God, my Lord. And other ones like, you shall not steal, you shall not murder, those are just, when we get to a certain age, we start to learn right from wrong. And those are things that we should innately know that are right or wrong. Honoring your father and your mother. That was huge for me, because I thought I was a pretty good person up until I got to that commandment and I really thought about my relationship with my parents. So if I chose to live my life by engaging in fornication, my sexual morality, perhaps spending more time with female partners than really getting to know a male partner, having sexual relationships, those kinds of things, that really made me look at my life. I didn't want to see myself as a lesbian anymore. I didn't want to have a sexually immoral or deviant lifestyle. And I wanted to be more selfless. And it's difficult in today's day and age to be selfless when we're surrounded by so many things, so much product, so many desires, and it's the world. It is the way of the world, and that's one of the things that you really have to build your strength in as you build your faith, is having the strength and courage to not give in to the ways of the world. And that's where the majority of people struggle, I think. Because, you know, everyone wants to live, for the most part, in a land of opportunity and progress. But sometimes with that, things happen. There's people that will lie to obtain a certain position in government, in any kind of business that would give them more money in the end. I think not so many people are as genuine. This is how I feel. Unless, you know, you get those that once in a while will do great things with their wealth. They'll have a strong philanthropy behind it, and they'll help people from different areas of life. That's a beautiful thing. But just consider that when thinking about your life and your walk with Christ. Where do you start? How do you start? You really don't know when to start until you know when to start. And I know that sounds ironic, but it took me being completely broken, alone, betrayed, abandoned, I guess you could say, and helpless in so many ways. But it was my relationship with God that gave me the strength I needed to keep moving forward and keep going, because I was somebody's daughter. I was the daughter of a high king, of an eternal king, of a glorious Father. And instead of thinking, why me, I turned it around to, why not me? Who am I to think that I'm too good for pain, for all the experiences that I went through? And I believe, and I strongly feel, that had I not gone through those experiences in my life when I did, I wouldn't be feeling the way I feel today about my Lord. And to know that every day I strive to do better. Because it's impossible to have a perfect day in the world. We're always going to have obstacles. But how we ultimately decide to handle our obstacles, that's where the difference lies therein. So thanks for listening. I will see you on my next episode of Coming of Age. I am back on crutches temporarily, and I ended up re-injuring my old fracture on my left foot, so I should know this week where I'm at. I'll have answers to some of the questions that I have and the severity of the injury, but I'll keep you all posted. And it was good to talk to you again. I will see you very soon. God bless. Thank you. Talk to you later.